Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at Traveller Merchants Edition. This is an early primer, I guess, a basic rule set if you're thinking about getting into Traveller but you haven't quite decided you wanted to pull the trigger. Mongoose just released this just a few days ago, and the idea is that you get a lighter version of the rules, and it's skewed toward playing a merchant in the game, and it's all yours for $1. Drive-Thru RPG has it for $1. Mongoose has it at the bargain price of 99 cents. This is a neat idea for people that are getting into Traveller for the very first time. If you're not sure you want to really take the dive, this is a good way to take the dive. It's $1. You get literally everything you need to play many games of Traveller. You don't have to expand anything beyond what's in this book, and yet you can still play the game itself. So we're going to take a look through the book, what you get, and then we're going to talk about the Explorer's Edition, which was an earlier version of this. So the Merchant's Edition, just freshly published, compiled by Matthew Sprange as the developer. And what we get in here is Traveller. If you want to play Traveller, but you haven't decided, do you want to spend the big dollars to get the 2022 update rulebook, but you want to try it, this is a great way to do it. For $1, you get about 72 pages of rules that take you through every facet of the game, some way or another. This one has a special focus on being a merchant. So Traveller, a lot of Traveller is going from port to port with your cargo, selling your cargo for a profit, and then going to the next one. Rinse, repeat. That's a lot of Traveller. And by the way, that's a great way to play Traveller. Traveller can be much, much more than that, but it's a great way to start, especially if you have folks that are not used to playing space role-playing games. Being a merchant and having a crew selling cargoes and stuff can be a great way to do it. So we take a look at the stuff there. How to make a Traveller and our characteristics, everything that we would need to know to make our character. I'm not going to run through the full process of making a character. And then we get a sample career, and the career is merchant. And as a merchant, you have three choices. You can be a merchant marine. You work on the massive cargo haulers run by the Imperium or a megacorp. You could be a captain of part of a free trader crew as a free trader, or you can be a broker. You work at planetside brokerage of a starport. So there's three different ways you can play this same career, and that gives you an option for starting up your game. So if you are starting a game for more people, I'll give you another thing you can add to this. But for now, if you have merchant, if you have 2 or 3 people playing, you can both pick the same or different assignments as a merchant and just go forward. And there's the creating of the character. And then we have the aging and injuries, very integral to Traveller. What we do have in this book is a lot of nice artwork that I don't recall having seen elsewhere. So I thought it was pretty nice that they put some new artwork in a book that's out there for $1 just as a primer. I thought that was a nice touch. This is a good looking book. And we get a little blurb here about which characteristic to use, which one's appropriate. I don't remember seeing this blurb in other books. It's entirely possible it was there and I missed it. But it's a nice little blurb. So basically it just says use common sense. If it's intelligence or education, you want to think, okay, intelligence is more your wit and your intuitiveness, and education is what you've been trained to do. Which one would be more appropriate for the moment? And then how to do a skill check, the effects of a skill check, opposed checks, all the stuff that's in the core rulebook. And there we have skills and tasks, just like the core rulebook. Now, there are more deep dive-ins on some of these things in other Traveller offerings, but this will certainly get you going. And then we go to combat. How do you run a combat? How do you determine initiative? Do you take damage? How do you heal? It's all here. Well, healing's under a different section, medicine. And then encounters and dangers, environmental dangers, falling, gravity, poisons, radiation, all this. And when I was new to Traveller, we didn't have a ton of information on any of those topics. So it's pretty exciting that you can start Traveller knowing all that. How you get healing and medical treatment. Animal encounters, equipment. Okay, there's some different types of armor you can wear. Communications, computers and software, medical and care supplies, sensors, survival gear and supplies, weapons, There you go. Then we go to spacecraft operations, how that works in Traveller, and how to play it. I like the artwork in this. I like this book. It was a good book, and I have to point out I really didn't need this book. It was one I bought for a dollar, and B, just to kind of complete my collection, because one thing I kind of am is a bit of a completist. But it's still good with space combat here. All this is the same stuff that's in the base rule book, but the base rule book brings out a little bit more. Now we have a sample ship, a Far Trader. So this gives you an opportunity to have your character be rolled up, get some mustering up benefits, and then be working on a Far Trader. And there you have a nice top down. Look at it, and then you have the world and universe creation. Very important to Traveller. And again, if you're not going to buy any other supplements for Traveller, this is how you can go ahead and make your environment up as you go. And the governments, the law levels, all very nicely explained. The starport, trade codes. This is where the book comes into what its focus is, which is being a merchant, trading. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to learn how to broker cargoes, take them to a new destination, and sell them. And that's really what the book's about. And then the index in the back page. So all in all, a very nice $1 offering. You can't beat it. Or can you? Yes, you can. It's not the same book. We have the Merchant's Edition here, but a couple of years ago, Mongoose put out the Explorer's Edition. And the Explorer's Edition is geared toward a space game where you're going to explore. And in that one, you can be a scholar or a scout. Those are the available careers for you there. So between this book and the Explorer's Edition, which, by the way, right now is in a free packet from Mongoose, I'll put a link to that below, you can go ahead and have the Merchant's Edition for $1, get the Explorer's Edition, which gets you more careers and more stuff on exploring the known galaxy. And then combined with the Merchant's Edition, you have trading and brokering cargoes. And then with the Explorer's Edition, the Traveller Primer that they just put out, Mongoose put out a few weeks ago, you get 2 adventures as well. So it's a great way and a great time to start into Mongoose. You are looking at $1 investment, and if you go get the free pack, which again I'll put a link to, you're going to be able to have the Merchant's Edition, the Explorer's Edition, which is the same thing but geared toward exploring, and 2 adventures, and all for the price of $1 plus a free download. So I did a video a few weeks ago on the free download, if you want to take a look at that, to just see what you're getting, but free is free, so why not? But anyway, it's a great time if you're looking to pull the trigger and jump into Mongoose Traveller. This is a great time. This is also a great thing to tell your players about and say, hey, okay, you guys kind of enjoyed our last Traveller game. Here's a light core rule thing. Here, I'll give you $1. Download the thing, and let's go ahead and you read up a little bit between games, and it'll be a richer experience for all of us. And that is something I'm actually going to be pitching to my guys, and I'll give them $1. So we'll see how that falls. But in any case, the Merchant's Edition is just out now from Mongoose. It's for $1. I really like that Mongoose does these to kind of draw people in. And the other thing I want to mention before I go is that around the holiday times, so sometime in the next few weeks, the posting of this video, Mongoose will be probably giving out something as a holiday premium for fans. So when that comes out, I'll throw some notice up on the channel too. But it's another way you can get something kind of free for Traveller. They've done a few of these over the last few years, and I think those are still free too. Boo and Embla are the characters that they follow on the free one. There's a pay one, but there's a free one too. But they're fun too. So it's a great time to get into Mongoose Traveller. It's an inexpensive way to get into Mongoose Traveller. All you really need after this is 5 or 6 die 6, and you're ready to play Traveller. You don't need a big fancy board. You don't need figures. You don't need terrain. Traveller can absolutely be part of Theater of the Mind if you want to do that. I recently ran a Traveller game where I had the entire board set up. I had a whole pack of minis I was going to put out there as the player characters, and we got so into the role-playing end of it that I discovered at the end of the game we didn't even interact with the terrain I'd set up. We did everything verbally and absolutely had a blast. So it was 3 hours of 5 players and myself sitting around working out the political life in Traveller, and just had a lot of fun. But that's it. That's all I've got today on page 121. I just want to give you a heads up on the Merchants Edition. I do recommend you go ahead and grab it for $1. Why not? Let me know what you think. Did you grab this? Do you think it's a good deal? Is this something you're not interested? Just let me know in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'm still trying to grow the channel. And take a look at the Patreon. See if you can help me out there, because thank you, my existing patrons. I would not be around without you. But that's all I got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.